love, and welcome to my video. I'm so grateful to have you here, and I'm really excited for this video because today we're going to be talking about the 6 truths that the world and power structures just don't really want you to know. I've always had a sense of like there is something deeper out there. There is some truth that I just haven't found yet. And when I found these, I was like, oh, well, here it is. So for some context, I believe that life here on earth is a spiritual classroom. Like, we come here to learn lessons and to get closer to the truth, to break cycles, etc., etc. It's all about learning and the truth. And so knowing that made me realize that things on earth are not happening to you, right? They're not happening to you, they're happening for you. And that was a really big shift in my mindset because I've gone through a lot of hard things, as have all of you. And you really question, like, why am I going through this? Like, why is this happening to me? And I've asked that question plenty of times, right? And so when I realized like life is a spiritual classroom, everything that has ever happened to you or is happening to you currently or will ever happen to you is all meant to aid your spiritual evolution and growth and awakening. Like, every single event is designed to help you dissolve any false beliefs, illusions, and move closer towards the truth. But nobody tells you the truth. So you just don't even really understand like what could this traumatic event possibly be teaching me? Because nobody gives you these. So I'm going to give them to you today in hopes that you can have a new perspective on everything that you have gone through, are going through, and will go through. And instead of asking why is this happening to me, asking how is this serving my spiritual growth, my journey towards the truth. That switch makes a really big difference in your ability to cope and deal with whatever it is you're going through. So let's just get straight into it. Just to break down how I'm going to do it, there are 6 truths, but there are also 6 illusions. So first I'll be saying the illusion that we've bought into and then the corresponding truth. So we'll start out with the first illusion, which is possession. This illusory belief is basically that once I have this or this person, I am going to feel some way. Like, I will be happy if I have a boyfriend. I will be happy once I have this house. This is very common thinking. I think like this all the time too, and like have to catch myself and be like, oh wait, no, that's not where happiness comes from. It's not an external thing. And I see this everywhere. I realize that a lot of us have this need to find our worth in extrinsic matters. So possession is basically, if I have X or the X person, I will feel Y. The corresponding belief, however, it's called freedom in love. Our ego attaches possession with this feeling of safety. And that's pretty much where all of these illusions come from too, by the way, is like when you are bought into this, you are at a level of a negative frequency. And I'm not saying like you're a negative person. Like I'm more so, because mind you, like I buy into these beliefs all the time. Like, I'm not above this by any means. I have to remind myself of these all the time. But basically, when you're bought into one of these illusory beliefs, you are operating at the frequency of either fear, desire, anger, shame, guilt, apathy. You're vibrating at the level of some negative frequency. If you'd like to learn more about the energetic frequency scale and how to overcome fear, I have a video on that, which I'll put, I don't know which corner it is, somewhere there, so you can watch that. It breaks down the energetic frequency scale. And this all comes from David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. So anyways, basically you are operating at probably fear. And so all of these beliefs are trying to solve that. Like, our ego is trying to feel safe where there's fear, but it's an illusion, right? That's not the true safety. True safety doesn't come from like a material good or a person, right? It comes from within. But basically, our ego thinks that possessing something, possession, will lead to safety, especially love. Like, if I have a boyfriend, if I have a partner, if this person stays with me, then I'm safe, then I'm loved, right? We experience that. But it's an illusion. Love is not actually something that can be gained or lost. So if you have a boyfriend, you may feel more love But that love is never coming from anything other than within you. And we don't realize that. I never knew that because, well, I've had several boyfriends at this point, all of whom I loved very much. And I thought that they were loving me so much, and that's where the love was coming from, but it wasn't. I was loving them so much. And so we think that when we go through a breakup, that we lose that love, that they're gone, so the love is gone. But no, that's the illusion. The love was never coming from out here. The love was always coming from in here. So anyways, love is not something that can be lost or gained. So that really is the first truth. It's that love and joy and peace and good feelings are not things that come anywhere external. They come from within you. It's an inner state of awareness. And if you're ever feeling like you've lost love, it might be asking you, how can I reconnect with the love that's inside of me? The next illusion is unworthiness. And that is the belief that I am not enough or I must earn love. And I know this one hits for so many of us. I've definitely felt this many times. So for me, this manifested in getting into relationships where my worth was not recognized, acting as if I didn't deserve true love. It manifested in a lot of ways, and a lot of people block themselves in a lot of ways, whether it's you don't think you're worthy of being a creative person, you don't think you're worthy of love, of healthy love, of even creating like a YouTube video, like you might not think you're worthy of being on the screen. There's so many ways that that little voice in our head convinces ourselves that we are not worthy. But it's an illusion. It's an illusion. So the truth is that you are inherently worthy, and your existence alone is proof of that. Your worth, kind of in cahoots with the last truth, your worth is not dependent on anything external. It's all from within. It's an intrinsic fact of your existence. It's not something you gain when you achieve something or you do something well or because someone else decided that you're worthy. You are worthy whether or not anyone around you recognizes it, whether you have 10,000 followers or one. You are worthy whether you get cheated on or not. Like, you are worthy. And if you're ever struggling, a lot of times it comes down to like, am I believing the false belief that I'm not good enough or that I need to do something to be good enough? Oh, baby, you are worthy. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is making my heart sing because like, this is the truth, guys. Like, okay, I digress. Let me keep going. The fact is that God, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in consciousness, right? It doesn't matter what you believe. This is true. Even if you don't believe in a higher power, these truths are still true. So you are here. Like, consciousness, God, the universe have chosen you to be the expression of life itself. Like, and this doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I need to live up to this. No, babe. Do you think the squirrels feel like they have to achieve something to be worthy of being a squirrel? Like, we just tell ourselves a fake story. It's not true. We're not different from the trees, from the animals. We are also part of this beautiful expression of life. We just are more conscious, so we can have a little voice in our head that tells us all the fake things. It's not true. You are worthy. You were placed here for a reason. Even if you know it or don't, that's okay, because you just need to know that you're here for a reason. Maybe your reason is to just exist, you know? So anyways, you are worthy, and if you are feeling any other type of way, you are probably identifying with your thoughts and your ego. And that's okay. Don't get mad at yourself for that. That's how we were raised, and that's all we know. But remember, I love this analogy. Life is like you're watching a movie. And you know when you're in the theater and you're watching this really great movie, and you forget you're watching the movie because it's so good. And then all of a sudden, someone has to go to the bathroom, so they walk in front of you and you're like, I'm watching a movie, whoa. That is your life. Like, you are watching a movie, but you are also the screenwriter, the actor, the watcher. You get to write the whole movie. And so anyways, all of this to say that if you're watching something, you can't be the very thing that you are watching, which means if you can observe your thoughts, you are not your thoughts. You are an observer of thoughts that are in your mind. And you are not your mind. You are not your body. You are something way bigger that you can't even comprehend. We are part of life. We are part of consciousness, but you are not your thoughts. So if you are having thoughts that are telling you anything other than the truths I'm telling you today, as long as you agree with them and want to think those things, then you can choose to say, no, no thanks, and just on to the next. And you don't have to give it energy, you don't have to blame, because that will actually make it worse. Just say no. So anyways, you are worthy. Let's move on. The next one. The next one is perfectionism. And like, it's actually funny how much every single human on this earth struggles with each of these. Like, perfectionism is something I struggle with every single day. Even to sit down and film a YouTube video is so hard for me, because I'm like, it needs to be perfect, and then I'll start researching all the ways to like make it perfect in the rule book that I'm supposed to listen to. And like, we all just want to do perfect. Like, we don't want to fail, because to fail is to be flawed, and to be flawed is to be terrible, and that's horrible. See the illusion? So if you live like that, you will feel a lot of shame and a lot of self-hatred, which I have felt before, and I'm sure you have too. And that's okay. It's okay. So the corresponding truth, it's called wholeness and acceptance. And it's the idea that everything is already complete within God's design, or the universe's design, or whatever you believe in's design. If you feel the need to be perfect, it means that you believe that something is missing, or that you're not good enough. See how these all fit together? You feel like you need to be perfect to be whole. You're so scared of doing something wrong that you feel like you must be flawless. But the truth is, everything that exists today is already part of a perfect unfolding. Everything you've gone through, every decision you've made, even the things you perceive as like mistakes or bad decisions or flaws, right? They all function to serve either human growth, your growth, and it's perfect. It's all happening perfectly. We just can't see it at that level because we're down here, God is up here, he can see the whole picture. Again, the universe, consciousness. I should say that I'm not traditionally religious. I'm not like a Christian or Jewish or, etc. I am very, very spiritual though, and I very much do believe in a higher power. And what I call the higher power changes. I don't really like to say he, but sometimes it comes out. But I might call it God, the universe, creator, source, intention. There's so many different ways you can consciousness, like there's so many different ways you can refer to the higher power, but I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in something that's bigger than me. So, okay, back to what I was saying. We are all part of that picture that we can't see, and everything we experience is part of that picture, and it's all perfect, and you are whole. So know that you are exactly as you were designed to be. You are moving exactly as you were designed. And that's all. You don't have to question if you're whole, if you're worthy, if you need to be more perfect. No, you are perfect just as you are. That is the truth. Okay, next one. The next illusion is control. So that means feeling like you can and should and must control everything in your life. Maybe that's you're in a relationship and you can kind of feel it, like you kind of have that intuition in the back saying that this isn't right, but no, you must control it. You must be prettier. You must show up differently. You can change it. You can change the outcome if you do this differently, right? All an illusion. And that'll cause you a lot of anxiety and frustration because ultimately we don't control everything. And that is the truth. The truth is surrender to divine order. Life unfolds through intelligence that is far greater than the ego. Like I said, God has a plan. The universe has a plan. You are perfectly unfolding in exactly how you were meant to. And so you want to control. We are very scared of uncertainty. I'll say it every time, like, I'm not above this. I go through these every single day. But life, God, the universe, they know what they're doing. Your job is to trust that. It's an illusion that our ego believes that it can control things and that it can ensure our safety and our success. It's just an illusion. Just as our hearts and all our organs continue to function and the planets continue to orbit, so too does our personal life. It unfolds in perfect harmony with everything else. And the planet doesn't control its orbit. The tree doesn't control its growth. You are part of a bigger plan, and you have to trust that and realize that you can't choose things. And actually, I wasn't going to say this, but I kind of believe, and you don't have to believe this either, but I believe we come to this earth having already chosen our battles. Like, we already chose our family, all the circumstances in our lives, everything. So whenever I'm going through a hardship, I'm like, really pissed. Like, no, I'm kidding. But I'm like, I know that I can handle it. And I know that I have to surrender because it's teaching me something. And it's not always fun. And it's sometimes really painful. But I know that it's part of a higher order that I have no say in. And I have to go with it. You can't fight it. And I have tried to fight it. Like, I was in a really toxic relationship a few years ago, and my intuition told me from the beginning, like, I should leave for 2 years. After he cheated on me, everything, I was like, oh, but we're meant to be. Like, no, you were not meant to be. But anyways, I don't say any of that condescendingly. I'm literally talking to my past self. I fought so hard for someone who I thought was my person, but who God didn't intend for me to stay with forever. So I had to choose freedom and love. I wasn't gonna lose the love when I left, but anyways, I saw this quote. It says, spirituality is secure attachment with reality. And it's true. You just have to trust that everything is happening for your highest good, that the universe is conspiring for you to make your dreams come true. Just to trust that everything is happening for your evolution, not to you, not against you, for you, even when it hurts and it's temporarily uncomfortable. And then the last one is the illusion of separation. And it's the idea that I am separate from others, from God, from life, from everything, right? And this one's a little hard to explain. A lot of these are hard to explain because it's kind of like an inner knowing for all of these. Like, hopefully what I've been saying has been like resonating and you're like, you know, it clicks something because you know, the fact is, like, I'm not teaching you anything new. You know this deep, deep, deep down underneath all of the human conditioning that we've gotten from our parents and our friends and our families and our media and everything. Deep, deep down, these resonate because you know that they're true. You just never have like been told them like this before. And that's how I felt when I found them out, at least. So anyways, this one, sometimes there are truths that words can only point to, but you will feel an inner knowing about, or it might just not make sense. And it might take, like, this one has taken me a lot of times hearing it, thinking about it, trying to understand it, to really understand it. And even then, like, I still get into this illusion of separation all the time. So I'm gonna try my best to explain it. But basically, right, everything is a level of consciousness, and every level of consciousness exists at some energetic frequency, right? So it's like a scale. If you watch a video, it'll explain it, it'll show you it. But it goes from like the bottom, which is like guilt and shame, that's the lowest one, that's very low energy, to courage, like a bunch of negative. Then at the middle, it's courage, that's the tipping point into the positives. And then it goes all the way up to enlightenment. And enlightenment is God, it's the universe, it's the energy moving so fast that we can't even observe it, right? But at that level, at the highest level, everything is light, everything is one. It's God, it's life, it's consciousness. Like, it's all just one thing, but it collapses. And this is like quantum physics. The physicists will explain it better than me, but just bear with me. Everything from there collapses. Like, that field has infinite potential. Every possibility exists. That's what they mean when they're saying in the quantum, right? And then we collapse it into everything that you can see in this material world. So at the highest, everything is one. Everything is light. Everything is God. Everything, and everything on this level is still that. We just have like I have a body, right? So I see someone else and I see their body, and I'm like, we are two separate beings. But it's not true. It's an illusion, right? I am this enlightenment in this avatar, and so are you. You are the same thing that I am, just in a different avatar. Like, and same with trees. Like, we all come from the same thing. So anyways, we get into this illusion that we are different, that we're separate, that because I'm this, and that causes a lot of loneliness because we think that we are separate from everything and that we can be lonely. But that is not true. There is no separation between you, others, and God. The essence of all beings is the same. It is this one life force, energy field, and it collapses into us and we think we're separate. The truth is called oneness. Everything that exists is one consciousness expressing itself through many forms. And once you're able to recognize that, the illusion of isolation disappears. You can no longer be lonely. And you can start having a whole lot more compassion for others because you realize nobody's better, nobody's different. We're all the same. Whether you have different skin color, different gender, any difference, it doesn't matter because we're all the same in our essence. We are all light, we are all love. So anyways, that was a tough one to explain. But I'm glad that I explained that before the last one, which now I'm going to talk about because it'll make it a little bit easier. So the very last illusion is judgment. And this is the idea that there's good and there's bad, or there's right and there's wrong. This binary thinking that puts us into a box that either gets praise or the opposite. And this can lead to pride or resentment, depending on which box you're put in. But just like all the others, that is an illusion, my friends. And the truth is compassion and understanding. And it's the knowing that all behavior stems from what level of consciousness you're at energetically. It's not moral evil. So there's no such thing as good and bad. There's no such thing as good and evil. And this one was crazy when I wrapped my head around it, because if you're Christian, you're like, well, Satan is a force of evil that's operating on this earth. And like, I'm not saying that really low frequency things exist that are trying to like bring others into that low frequency state. But like I said, at the top, right, everything is one, which means that everyone down here at the very bottom still came from this. Even Satan, in a traditionally Christian view, he was an angel from God, and then he fell because he got pride and he wanted recognition, I think is the story. He still came from God. And I think that a lot of people just need to understand this, because I used to look at my ex-boyfriend and be like, you are evil. Like, you are an evil person. And like, what you did to me was evil, right? And like, what he did brought me a lot of pain. Yes. Did I deserve it? No. However, he is just so low on the energetic frequency scale. He's at the very bottom, like shame and guilt. He's suffering so bad inside. And I'm not justifying the behavior, but I'm bringing compassion into the picture, because do I deserve it? No. Do I understand it and can forgive him? Yes, because he hates himself. Like, I didn't know this at the time, but now that I know about energetic frequencies and the truth and illusions, he hates himself. And it makes me very sad to know that there are people that genuinely feel so bad inside that they think crime or, I don't know, narcissism, like that these paths are the best they can do. But that is a truth, that we are all doing the best we can at any given moment with the information that we have. Myself, who stayed in that relationship, now I look back and I'm like, girl, why'd you do that? Well, it's because I didn't know any better, right? And same for him, like, why did he do that? It's because he didn't know any better. Again, do I deserve it? No. But can I see that now and know that, like, okay, well, I know better. I'm going to find someone else who knows better. And that's it. And I pray for him, and I genuinely wish him the best. I hope that he can learn to love himself, because it's possible for everyone. Like, even I know it's probably controversial, everything I'm saying about this one, but like, even criminals, like, I pray for them. Like, I don't think they're just like destroyed human beings that are gone, that are like can't come back. Like, everyone can learn to love themselves and to raise their frequency and to move up and be closer to source and God and the universe. And like, so anyways, the truth is that every action or thought or thing that exists comes from what level of consciousness you're operating at. So if you're at guilt and shame, you're going to act with guilt and shame. You're going to take that out. Like, you know, it's not that they're evil. They are still you. They are just struggling so bad and they need love. And I'm not saying stay with them. That is not what I'm saying. But love them from afar, because they need love. The only thing that can help them is love. And that's why I say I hope that he can find love in himself and forgiveness and compassion, and not blame anyone or anything, and know that you are doing the best you could, and now you can do better because you know about this. And that wasn't necessarily to him, but just like to everyone and to me. And so anyways, this has been my most natural video, I'd say. Like, I have my notes, obviously, but this low-key came from the heart. This came from God, guys. So if you're still here, I love you. Just kidding, I love all of you. But like, if you're still here, please comment one that you're struggling with or one that you've recently realized. I'd love to just start a conversation, and like, you never know who's gonna be reading those comments and just feel so seen and like loved and supported, especially like our brothers and sisters who are struggling and need that love. So reminder to spread love. And yeah, I'll see you very soon, because I think I'm gonna be posting a lot in the next 2 weeks because I took a break. But I love you all so much. Bye guys.